this motherfucker online. Oh, we are live? I believe we're about to be live. We're about to be live, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? So listen. Today we're just in here, man. We sitting up. Got a couple of moments, man. We wanted to go ahead and, you know what I'm saying, clock in and see what was happening, see what was going on with the people. You feel me? If you're there, you're there. If you're not, you're not. It's just a video to see what we got. You feel me? Like, this is all we're doing out here right now. You go ahead, put something on here. It's off the cuff. You know what I'm saying? With Unk and Neph. We definitely gonna check out these bids. You know what I'm saying? A little reaction. Checking out a little reaction to, you know, input, because I know we're gonna have some input. You feel me? On some of the things that said in this actual segment right here. It's a little hitter of 607 Unk, not the punk. You know what I'm saying? He been a real heartthrob on the internet lately, especially YouTube streets. So, you know, that's what we out here. We out here looking at that real quick. So, hey, if you like what you like what you like. You dig? We're gonna go ahead and check them out. They speaking on, I believe it says a spiritual shutdown. 607 Unk versus Pastor Eli. Heaven and Hell and Soul Traps Exposed. So we're gonna see what they talking about. You know what I'm saying? But so without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and see what's popping with it.
Yes, sir.
Shoot, so we go back to goods.
Corinthians 15:51 has been swallowed up in victory.
Damn.
Where, O death, is your victory? Where, O death, is your sting? This Romans 8:38-39. For I am convinced that neither nor life nor anything else in all creation will be able to separate us from the love of God that is in Christ Jesus our Lord. Philippines 1:21. For to me to live is Christ and to gain.
Satan come in all kind of fashion. Watch this. Satan would make you think that you have eternal life in the thing you possess, in the thing you know, the people you connect to. Trying to let you know, if you get in the mind of Christ, then the thing that you experience in this life, you won't cause it to make you separated from serving your God. Everybody don't believe that way. I do. I believe that if I leave this world, I'm going to be in the presence of the Lord. So Paul feel like it's a benefit on either side, but he made that statement because at the same time he want to stay here to enlighten his brother.
Stay out of control him, so you understand that there's no devil. It's only a lower self, right? It is a high self. But this is what this means, right? But even when they was doing that, they had a light inside them. That light belonged to God. Listen, everybody around just to have the life, the birds, the trees, everything that's living, they got that spark, that thing from God. But on this plane right now, because we have some form of attachment. We attached to family, we attached to something. A lot of people here attached to love, and they're not love correctly, right? A lot of people think love is a feeling, but love is not a feeling, right? It's an action.
Philly kid comes to Bel Air. Fish out of water, but still thriving.
These boys are about to go off to college.
I'm taking the biggest swing of my life here.
I used to feel so devastated.
My GPA is top of the class. Princeton should be lucky to have me.
Excuse the commercial.
This
Excuse the
Bible
commercial.
what's the first
My
commandment of the
bad.
10 Commandments is how we starting.
Love God with all thy might, all thy mind, thy heart.
Gang,
Oh, Israel, there's one Lord, thy God. That's the first commandment of the 10 Commandments.
listen.
Oh, there you go. Okay, Bishop. Okay.
The first, listen, why you talking about the first commandment? You listen, you too concerned about the first. That's why people still reading that fat Bible. Listen, Jesus came in the New Testament and he said the only commandment I give you is to love. So what you talking about?
That ain't the first commandment.
Yeah, it is the first. That's the first and only commandment. Listen, let me ask you a question, right? If I told you to wash the dishes, right, and clean outside, right, and then I came back, you said, no, what? Don't clean outside, just wash the dishes. Which one of those is my commandment at that time?
Bet.
That didn't make no
Man,
sense.
Y'all, yeah, I'm asking the questions here.
Oh yeah, y'all both confused.
Now you confused.
Y'all
That's
both
why
confused. Y'all both.
he gonna say something.
You trying to say?
Bible. He
Listen,
don't even
gang,
know nothing
this is
about
what I'm saying. I'm saying that Jesus came, and when Jesus came, he said, the only commandment I give you is to love.
love. Fulfill all the laws of the
So
prophets.
that's what I'm saying. So why the what these other 9 for?
Well, the one clean up the 9. If
Come on, gang.
love,
Come on, gang. They want
all-
other 9 so they can get 9 more collection plates.
That ain't got nothing to do with no collection plate. People don't give to church no more because people like you got them thinking that giving to the church is a curse.
hey yo, look, hold on. First of all, I do want to say off rip, you know what I'm saying? All views and opinions established in this video are not of Family Ties Network. Unk and Neph, we just reacting to a video. We want to call fair use, you know what I'm saying? All that. You feel me? Don't be trying to come and strike our page because we out here trying to get ahead, man. You know, hey, look, come get with us, man. We out here just trying to live like you live it. You feel me? We just doing how we do. You know what I'm saying? But back to the show. You know what I'm saying? Back to the
hold on, please. Let's dive into that just a little bit. So, how do you feel?
Dive in.
Just not even dive in, just a toe tap. So 607 Unk said something. He said, when Jesus came, he said, the only commandment I give you is to love. So does that supersede the other 10 commandments? Does that supersede the other stuff in the Old Testament?
So personal on a personal aspect or point of view of it. I believe it would supersede it because in so many words, Jesus is coming to wipe away the 10 commandments for those people, and you know what I'm saying, what he's saying, because he's supposed to be dying. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, he sacrificed himself for our sins. You know what I'm saying? So whatever those commandments was before, you feel me, they don't apply to the new law. I mean, that's why I feel like it's like they was talking to the people at that time. Now it's good to, you know what I'm saying, go ahead and try to take in little, you know what I'm saying, pieces and, you know, use it as, you know, a pillar of understanding or standard or whatever you want to say. But, or I should say, and Jesus did come down here, you know what I'm saying, die for our sins, you know, heal all the transgressions of the world with, you know, his blood. So, I mean, and that's in that sense, that's what that's what the Bible is saying. So I think people go too much in a, you know, because it's in the Bible or it's right there and you read it, context is king. So, you know what I'm saying? At the same time, as we understand that this is a whole faith that is not even for us. It's not, we are, you know what I'm saying, a whole nother people outside of the people that they was talking to. But I cannot dive into Bible verse and be like, those are my people that he's talking about right there. I have no, I can't reach back and pick a name that, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, Saul, David, you know what I'm saying, King Saul, King David, excuse me, you know what I'm saying, or, you know what I mean, Paul, Joseph, Jesus. So it's like, you know, what I do is it's like, you know, kind of just look at it in, you know, a retrospective is really something that's just, you know, meant for implementation of like to mold your mind around, you know, structure, self-understanding, you know what I'm saying? Things that sort of.
I get that. I do. What I'm saying, dude,
I can't say that. I can't say that's what I'm saying. I can't say that. I can't say that off of my standpoint. That's always going to be my standpoint. I can't say for another at another time. But if I'm somebody that if I was there when if I you know what I'm saying, because if I can understand how it feels, you know what I'm saying, I can only imagine. But if I can understand how it feels to be in that moment, I'm
talking
definitely
about 607 and them. Or you talking
nah.
about?
No, I'm saying as you talking about Jesus when at that time when he died and everything, it probably was a lot of people like, yeah, I'm rocking with what he talking about. And
See, I now that you put it in that perspective, I ain't even really like. I'm sitting here thinking about the Old Testament stuff. You talking about the people that Jesus was talking to. You
yeah,
can't say how they took it. We interpreted it. So I get what you're saying on that. I see.
I gotta
But
stay neutral. I gotta stay neutral.
I
You
was
know,
about to say,
I got an opinion, you know what I'm saying,
political.
but that's my opinion.
That's a political standpoint. That ain't
It's not really
standing.
political, bro.
It is
That's
political,
because
bro.
I do
Because you
believe.
know we can say that for everything. What we're talking about though is how it's being interpreted today and how people talk about it today. Do you believe that the commandment that Jesus gave, the commandment I give you is to love, supersedes the other 10 commandments as 607 Unk said? Here, let me tell you my standpoint on that. So, in my understanding of Christianity and what it is and what it represents and the dogma that it is, Jesus is the pillar. Jesus is the pillar of it. So he kind of what he was saying.
I think I'm gonna catch that.
he what he was saying is what stands true to the religion because it's what he was following. So if he did say the only commandment I give you is to love, it kind of does supersede and to go even further on this, and then I'll let you respond and we can go ahead and finish because we are kind of limited on time.
We only got 2 hours.
Yeah, limited on time. So, but
and we're probably not gonna be here to vote 2 hours. Not to spoil it for you guys, but
right. But to wrap it up, the whole he died for our sins and all of these things. He took those lashes. All of those things are supposed to be what washes away the obligation to hold a lot of those commandments, not even just the 10 commandments, but even other like sacrificial things and things that people felt they had to do to quote unquote be closer to or follow God's will. So that in essence, and what I believe, he kind of right when he said the only commandment I give you is to love. It do kind of supersede all those other commandments, especially if you following as a Christian. As a Christian,
that's why I don't really devote myself on like a Christian level person. Like I mean, I'm a knower that certain things can be and are possible. You know what I'm saying? The religion, I'm just able to believe in what I see every day. Like I tell you every time, I'm a believer by knowing that I get up and I breathe. You know what I'm saying? See, walk, and do things because I exist. So at some point in time, somebody had to be like, I got this little piece of melon, and I'm gonna make dark as hell with some locks, and you know what I'm saying, and they're gonna be a little heavy set, big back, maybe a little bit at times, and then slim up. Somebody had this. Besides my parents, you feel me? Like it's a divine way. So I don't drop, you know what I'm saying, too much of Bible verses and everything else, but I do see where it's useful. It's definitely something that it keeps tact. It keeps tact. Like people are able to you know what I'm saying, take life instances and be able to refer to certain, you know what I'm saying, things in those verses, you know what I mean? So I get where it comes from. Like it resonates so heavy when you in life, bro. When I was young, bro, I probably read Bible verses every day, bro, and it didn't do
Right.
nothing. You feel me? So now when I'm older and I've been through a few things and I can see through those lines and understand the true little dynamics of how they putting them lines together and what's really popping off in life throughout time and my empirical experience, bro, hell yeah. I get it's dope. It's a dope book, but I'm not gonna say that that's the only way I can find my God. That's the only way
we could. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
But
I was gonna say,
we ain't gonna do it.
Pretty sure we're gonna
get
tap. He's gonna probably tap
647,
into some of that. Yeah, he probably gonna touch on some of that soon here in a minute. Let's
you
rock
already know.
out for a couple more minutes,
That's what
and
you want.
we'll tap back in.
I never.
The TA.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
No,
See, soon we talk about giving, he get in giving mode. You see that? So we talk about giving, now he wants somebody to give him something.
Nobody said nothing about giving nobody nothing. You the one to talk about giving. Them the only tools you use to try to justify.
Gang, only thing I'm trying to give is person
to try to make the church look like that.
No, okay, I ain't trying to make the church like that crazy. I love the church. The church don't love itself.
Okay.
Right? Come on with the Bible Wars, gang.
Man, okay, listen, man. We going in depth about day, fellas.
Okay. Everybody's scared to die. Let's go.
Let's go. So we're gonna start. We're gonna start with you, 607 up. This is John 11:25-26. Jesus said to her, "I am the resurrection and the life. The one who believes in me will live, even though they will die. And who lives by believing in me will never die."
Let me tell you what that means, right? A lot of people don't understand. A lot of people get it confused. Well, I'm gonna call it John, but listen, but we gotta understand that John is a European name, and you gotta understand that they did that on purpose, but we ain't gonna talk about that, right? We're gonna still call him John, even though his name not John, right? And we're gonna talk about Jesus, even though his name not Jesus, his name is Yahshua. This church don't know, right? But listen, let's keep it real, right? When he said this, he meant this. Jesus consciousness, right? The only way to make it is if you wake up. If you don't have Jesus consciousness, you dead. To be aware is to be alive. And once you be aware, you forever be alive, right? That's what he meant. He meant to tell you so you could understand that the only way is through him, meaning you have to reach Jesus consciousness, right? And everybody don't understand what consciousness is. Everybody in the world think they aware, but they dead. That's what that mean, Bob.
What you think about that, Bishop Eli?
I think he needs to drink. Whatever he's drinking, he need to keep on drinking. He ain't making no sense.
That's fucked up, man.
First of all, when Lazarus Martha knew that Lazarus was dead. And so a lot of times you got to understand that when Jesus told Martha, he said, anybody that believe in me shall never die. What he mean, he's saying spiritually. That's one resurrection. It's the natural man. Then you got to be spiritual resurrection. That's why he said that any man believe in me shall never die. The Bible said, blessed are those that take part of the first resurrection, for the second has no power over them. Hold up.
They're going to separate.
Here's the difference. So if you got the second, you ain't got to worry about the second, because you're going to die physically. That's one, and you're going to die spiritually. Jesus said, if you believe in me, he's not saying that you're not going to die physically. He said you're not going to die spiritually. Nobody's spiritually.
So why did Jesus die?
Everybody died physically.
Jesus, no. Everybody don't die. No.
But everybody don't die spiritually.
That's not true.
Because you can't.
No.
You're going to either put eternal somewhere. You're going to do it with God or without God.
No.
You're going to dwell with God or without God.
Hold on, Bob. They trick you with. They trick you with.
Trick you.
Listen, let me tell you something.
Dead.
Your body can't even die. But they make you think that it can. The reason why he don't understand that everybody rainbow. Everybody in the world rainbow, right? Everybody rainbow color, because people don't rainbow. Yeah, everybody rainbow. Everybody in the world rainbow. Listen, around your body. Listen, the chakras have colors, and them colors, they magnetic around your body. Did you know when you take an MRI that you have two bodies? But they clean up your astral body before they show you your test. So if you right now, if I go do an MRI right now and I go through the machine and they go take a field test of my body, I'm gonna have two bodies. I'm gonna have a body outside of me that's my rainbow body, and my rainbow body is the emotion body, right? It's the magnetic field. It's who I really am. See, I'm not the body. I'm that magnetic field. I'm that energy, right? and I'm experiencing myself in the body. And as long as the energy is healed, I can keep the body living as long as I want to. That's my spirit.
Okay, watch this here. He always trying to sound deep, but he sleep. Watch this here.
Watch this here. Watch this here. Watch this here.
Let the dead bury the dead.
That's what he said.
He's talking about. Not only that, Jesus said you should never. Why you should never die? Watch this here. But people don't understand. Not just,
I'm watching. You ain't doing nothing.
Not just conscious, not just your own idea, your opinion, not scientific, none of that. But here's the point. I was telling him about Lazarus. Lazarus was dead spiritually. When Jesus called him from the grave, he said, "Come forth." He was talking about his spirit. Now watch this here. Many of us right now, we don't even know we dead. He dead, and he don't even know.
Listen, everybody know they
what
dead.
What make you alive? No, you don't know.
What make you alive is awareness.
Awareness. Who?
Awareness. Jesus' consciousness will make you alive. If you're not aware of the moment and understand that you can never die, and understand you had many bodies.
Let me tell you something.
I had many bodies.
I would listen to people that sound deep.
But I never died.
Okay, watch this here. Some of the things that, I was looking at was something Chopper said, about his conscience when he was in, he went out.
Why you talking about Chopper?
I'm just bringing that up.
Talking about my brother. You just talking about my brother like that. You don't know nothing about what Chopper talking about.
What he said, but he said that he was.
How you gonna like everything he say then?
Yeah, nah, like most.
You can't like some of you. Like all of them.
I ain't got like.
Come on, gang.
You don't like everything on your plate. Watch this here. So he was saying consciousness. He met God in his own way. But watch this here. It's the same thing dealing with him. He always talking about he alive. What make you alive? What you don't understand, if you don't have the source of the word of God, you don't even understand God and his purpose.
Well, let me reiterate.
You're dead.
Let me reiterate.
Deep. You might know scientific. You might know energy. You might sound like you know some stuff. People who don't know no better, that looking at you'll sound deep to them, but you really somebody that
hold on. Listen, it ain't. Let me tell you something, right? If anybody, I hate when they say they woke, right? I hate that, because if anybody was woke, then they won't still be here. If I can see you here, you ain't woke, nigga. You sleep like me. Listen, everybody want to be the person to take you to the hereafter, right? But Jesus told you where I go and who I am, all men can be. He said, but where I go, you can't go. I go to prepare a place for you, right? What he was talking about was the place of the mind, right? People don't understand that you die in your mind, right? Everybody is dead.
That's one death.
Listen, in order to be awake and to have awareness, you must suffer many deaths, right? That's why a lot of people have suffered for. Listen, let me tell you this. A person could be suffering right now from neck pain. It's probably because they got their head chopped off in their past life and they just don't remember, right? And they carrying all these baggages to life and life and life. But you don't understand the time you have is now, because all of it is happening now. You can change it all now, right? But people don't understand that. People think the past matter. But if you keep thinking about the past, you're going to keep reliving the past, right?
Okay.
We got to bring it up to the now.
Okay, let's get to the now.
All right, let's go ahead and pause right here and see if we can.
You did spiritually, you did physically.
They unpacked a lot. They unpacked a little bit. So when we first started talking, he was talking about Lazarus and Jesus, and they brought up the Jesus mindset and being awake. So one thing that I'm noticing in the debate is what we've talked about off camera a lot. The pastor, whoever it is in the gray suit, I don't know what's his name.
Pastor Eli.
Pastor Eli. You can obviously see he's operating from a place where he is taking the Bible literally.
He's a pastor. I mean,
you know what I'm saying? He's taking the Bible literally, and you see where 607 he is taking the Bible as an interpretation and applying it in different spaces, in two different spaces, opposed to taking word for word for what it is. And you was touching on this earlier, but that's just, to me, that's how it should be. That's how the Bible should be interpreted.
You gotta interpret it in your own.
It can't be. It can't be
Jesus. You can't be Jesus. You can't be Moses. You can.
And be not only that,
like them, but like, man, you gotta live your own life.
And you got to be able to expand your thought process to be able to comprehend what Jesus was saying. Because like he said, towards the end where he was talking about you got to live in the now, past, present, all these things. He said, Jesus said, you can't be who I am and go where I go, but where I go, you can't go. I'm going to prepare a place for you. And he was talking about the mind. Now, if you are looking at the Bible and looking at Christianity and looking at all these things in a scope of finite literacy, you're going to think about, oh, he's going to heaven, but if you are thinking about, even the Christ consciousness, because I've gotten into arguments about Jesus' last name was not Christ. Let's be clear about this. Like, one, his name wasn't even Jesus. Two, his last name wasn't Christ.
This is where I say more than less, or more or less. What happens is people, you always gonna have your own interpretation and your own way of negating away from information as well. You got to understand, like
bias.
You're gonna be biased, or you're gonna just because it's formed. A lot of times when people are talking stuff of religion or faith-based divinity, spirituality, all that, it's like either you disconnect or you deep dive, you know what I'm saying? And when you disconnect, it's more like, whatever, you know what I'm saying? I could care less because I'm really on the real side of things, and I got to wake up every day and face life. Jesus ain't here to help me with that. I don't see no physical being. I mean, and in those people, like, or those individuals, I can't even say those people because it's not a certain people, or it's just an individual thought that people have. Some people they don't know God. They don't know that there is some creator, or most high, that's going to have to, one day you're going to be accountable. Or they just or you never know. We might get washed and sent back through here. I don't know, but I'm not going to doubt it either. I'm not going to go against the grain just because, oh yeah, that's something to do. I don't believe in that. And I didn't see God work through me on several occasions, bro, because I ain't one to hold on, bro. I ain't really got nothing. You asking me for some food. You feel me? That ain't really me. That's just working off God-like tendencies. You know what I'm saying? So hey, bro, that's from God. That ain't from me, because I really ain't got it, bro. But I'm gonna get blessed and come back. You feel me? So, like, those are my modes. Like, usually when you see God, it's not, you don't see God. You see a person acting on God's behalf.
And I hear you, and I definitely feel what you're saying. And there's a lot that.
And God is not an actual person. God is a.
We talked about that a lot. You can't. We can. But to just touch on what you're talking about and kind of bring it back to what they're talking about. I think it's just how you interpret everything and how your perception of life. Because if you're going to sit up and live life based on what this book is talking about, man, you're going to see life that way. You're going to see God in things. You're going to see the devil in things. You're going to see, the different ups and downs and attribute these things to what you know. Mm-hmm. What I've experienced, and we got similar backgrounds. We brought up the same way. What I've experienced is, you said it earlier, higher power, but even then, I think it's just consciousness. It's consciousness, and it's not so much.
It's the spirit. It's more of a synchronicity. Like, I don't think people realize how much. Because that's why I be on dude like I'm on dude, because it's like you speaking but you ignorant with it. You know what I'm saying? You talking but you ignorant with it, because in the way you're doing it makes people
catch your
question,
attention.
make people click.
It's gonna be a conversation.
it also goes to feed that individual too with the ignorant mind. So when you got an ignorant mind, you know what I'm saying, no matter what level of ignorance it is, like you got to understand, like that's what it is. You're not understanding. You know what I'm saying? You're not comprehending. You're just hearing those one or two things, and you know what I'm saying? You chasing and running. So what?
Say the same thing. You say the same thing on the other side. You go to church and the pastor say a couple smooth lines, and it's like, oh man, that
But that I still say that part is
like
manipulation. I feel like that part is manipulation, bro. I feel like a lot of
not even on the manipulation point.
I'm not even on. That's why I never be on the church thing like religion because that.
I mean, okay, even with the Bible, when you read a couple verses and they resonate with you, and it's just like, oh man, maybe this is real, maybe this, and I think it's only really because that's just what we've been taught, that's just what we've been told, that's just what's ain't nothing. And then again, we can boil this down to we weren't even allowed to read.
Discernment though, you know what discernment is. It's not just a religious word. That's not
no. It's I understand the definition of discernment, and that is what brings me to this place is discernment, because I'm taking in all of this information. I'm taking in the fact that for hundreds of years, Black people wasn't allowed to read anything but the Bible. So think about that mental manipulation that
I ain't mad at that. I know
what I'm saying. So that has an integral role in what's being and how we move and operate today. It's not like there was an undoing of that. It's not like there was another 100, 200 years where, okay, go ahead and read about all of these things and explore. Even today, even in our family, we could probably have this conversation. There would be people who would look at me crazy, be like, what are you talking about? There, you got to know that what it is
a lot of people will look at it.
We've been conditioned.
Two-sided mind, like a duality, what they call it, duplicit mindset.
It is that there two things can be true at the same time. It can be this, and it can be that this belief in this faith is a tangible, reliable thing in a person's life that they can lean on, that they draw power from. I'm not saying that that's not true. I'm just telling you my point of view.
But I see a lot of people use it for no, like it's like not. I don't want to say to be controversial, but it's the like agitate people. Like, you know what I'm saying?
For sure, you got your trolls out there, man. You got your trolls out there. They'll be like, "Oh man," but in reality, they probably end up going to church, and they probably end up going to do, live these things, and end up, later on in life, oh man, I was just young, I see the error in my way, and that's something they got to live with. They got to be able to sleep at night. You know what I'm saying? Especially for me, it's definitely not no trolling shit. It's more of an educational. I'm there. I've seen too much and I've experienced too much to be able to say that with this one view and narrow viewpoint is it. This is it. This is, and this is how life should be done. And then, you can go and dibble dabble, but it's got to come back to it. And it's like, nah, man. Why do I have to be afraid of something that people created? Why do I have to be afraid of a heaven and a hell when all it is something up here in the mind? And if I can develop my consciousness to be higher and vibrate higher than it is in a lower situation, I can look at that as the lower vibration is hell and the higher vibration is heaven. So I'm pretty sure that's what he about to get into right here.
I mean, I get it, like, and see, and that's my thing. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, in the whole aspect of, you know what I'm saying, just looking at it outside, I do that all the time. But in the same way, like, I can't deny or, you know what I'm saying, I can't really lie or confirm that it was this. When I walked out the door and I got missed by that much. Hey, look, It's the odds, but I think I'm gonna take him alongside whoever else, as long as I'm here, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, let's
No,
be
I dig
real.
that. In them aspects, in them situations, I completely understand that. Where I think one, people overdo it, like, oh man, thank God I got this job. Like, what you mean? Thank God you put in the fucking work. You went out and put the applications in. You did good on the interview. You put your first book forward. God didn't have nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying? Not to say that there could have been, but again, this is where my argument becomes: we are placing finite characteristics and abilities on something that has no definition and no boundaries. It's infinite. You know what I'm saying? There's no way you could to say something like that. Again, so like,
Can't put it in
what I just talked about as far as like us not being able to read and how that's a contributing factor to the conversation we having now. Fact of the matter is, nobody is considering our place in this universe, the universe itself, the vastness of that. And I guess that always goes into the argument. Yeah, but if something's so big, so vast, what created it? First of all, let's bring it back to what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is when you look at that, the ratio that we have to this thing that this entity God would have to maintain is that of a fucking amoeba or smaller. The atoms that make up an amoeba. You know what I'm saying? So for you to say that it gave this big vast thing gave enough attention to get you a job, I think you're abusing the idea of God. And you are belittling the energy and the divinity you have in yourself, the power you have in yourself. Now imagine how much more you could do if you attribute all the good things to yourself. For example, man, I'm glad my reflexes is on point. If I wasn't on my shit, I would have got hit by that bus. You know what I'm saying? Some people might think that's selfish and idealistic, but at the same time, bro, you can't deny that your reflexes is on point. You know what I'm saying? If your reflexes wasn't, you'd be fucking bug. You'll be a bug on a bus.
True shit.
But yeah, nah. We can go ahead and get back to it.
God,
I agree. Nothing can live without God, but your soul is what you need to be concerned about.
There it is.
There you go, Bishop. But you got to be concerned about your soul, where your soul going to dwell at. Nobody. Why? Because nobody spiritually. But why? Because it's eternal. Anything that's created in God's image and His likeness, it's just where you're going to dwell your spirit at.
But you forget. Well, when you don't forget, you forever in darkness.
You're in darkness when you don't know no.
No, you're in darkness. You're out of word.
When you think you are greater than God. You're in darkness when you think that you woke yourself up this morning. You're in darkness when you feel like you can give yourself life.
I don't think none of that.
Yeah,
I don't think none of that. I don't think I'm greater than God. I co-create with God. But
are you subject to His word?
What you mean? What word? I am His word.
Okay, if you His word, how you know what He want out of your life?
Because I know what I want out of my life. No, I lie. That means good.
You trying to get God.
I'm not gonna take no Bible. I'm not gonna take no Bible word for it. No,
not my will.
It's in the heart. It's in the heart.
You want what? You want.
No, it's not.
You won't have.
If I want what I want, I'll be. If I want what I want, I'll be robbed.
No, the reason why you don't want to go to jail.
I don't give a fuck about jail. I've been time in jail.
You don't want to get killed.
I did. I've been dead. I died 5 times.
Okay, you still dead.
No, I'm not scared. Come on, Bob. Get this shit over with, man.
Y'all ready? Let's go to the next. We got Philippines 1.
Got hit with that.
Sorry about that, folks. My bad, folks.
21. For to me, to live is Christ, and to is gain. That's on you, Bishop Eli.
Well, why is it always on him?
You just went. You got to go.
Why you always do the good ones first?
That ain't no good. Give to him.
That's easy as hell.
That ain't easy. Go ahead. Give it.
Then Bishop go.
No, Bishop won't it.
He played too much. Watch this. Now watch this. Paul said to is gain. To stay is gain too. Why? It's because he can be example to those on earth. But he said, if I die, that's a person that believes that after this life, you're going to dwell with the Lord eternal. So if he feel that way, and that's his belief, then therefore that's his speech. Everybody don't believe that way. I do. I believe that if I leave this world, I'm going to be in the presence of the Lord. So
Hey, hold on. Go back real quick so I can hear the Bible verse again.
Side. But he made that statement because at the same, it's because he can.
Word.
Okay, if you his word, how you know what he want out of your life?
Because I know what I want out of my life.
No,
I line
I
with
mean,
good.
You trying to get God.
I'm not gonna take no Bible. I'm not gonna take no Bible word for it.
No,
No,
not my will.
It's in the heart. It's in the heart.
You want what?
No, no, it's not.
You won't have.
I want what I want. If I want what I want, I'll be robbed.
No, the reason why you don't want to go to jail.
I don't give a fuck about jail. I've been time in jail.
You don't want to get killed.
I did. I've been dead. I died 5 times.
Okay, you still dead.
No, I'm not scared. Come on, Bob. Get this shit over with, man.
Y'all ready? Let's go to the next. We got Philippines 1:21. For to me, to live is Christ and to is gain. That's on you, Bishop Eli.
Well, why is it always on him?
You just went. You far to go.
Why you always get the good ones first?
You can put it back in
give to him.
Let's get past it.
That ain't easy. Go ahead. Give
we was right there.
No, Bishop one.
That's fine.
You play too much.
To live is Christ and to die is to gain.
I know it's something greater than myself, so I believe.
Hold on, what?
To his word.
What you mean? What word? I am his word.
Okay, if you his word,
to live
how
is
you know
to be in Christ and to die is in gain.
You always get the good ones first.
That ain't no good.
No,
not my will.
But it's in the heart. It's in the heart.
You want what?
No, it's not.
You won't have.
I want what I want. If I want what I want, I'll be robbed.
No, the reason why you don't want to go to jail.
I don't give a fuck about jail. I've been time in jail.
You don't want to get killed.
I did. I've been dead. I died 5 times.
Okay, you still dead.
No, I'm not scared. Come on, Bob. Get this shit over with, man.
Y'all ready? Let's go to the next. We got Philippines 1:21. For to me, to live is Christ and to gain. That's on you, Bishop Eli.
Yeah.
Why
live is
always
Christ and die is
Why
gain.
to go?
Yeah.
Why you always get the good ones first?
That ain't no good. Give to him.
That's easy as hell.
That ain't easy. Go ahead. Give it. You'll put your treasure in heaven. But if you don't believe that, then therefore your peace and your joy are gonna be based on what you got and who you connected to in the natural. But in the spirit, it don't make sense. Because I know I'm not going to be here permanent. I know something outside of me created me. I know it's something greater than myself. So I believe there's an afterlife. And I believe that to go with Christ is a benefit.
Let me tell you, Bob, right? Listen, you ever seen a house before, Bob?
Never seen a house before.
Yeah.
For sure.
Right. You ever seen a house get tore down?
For sure.
Right. Then a new house get built on top of it?
For sure.
That will happen when you die. A lot of people don't know. See, everybody thinks they're going to the golden gates of heaven, but if you're not aware, you're going to lose this body and come back in another one, right? So a lot of people don't know this, Bob. A lot of people don't understand that any energy can't just transfer. Listen, stop playing with me, gang. Everybody. But listen, let me tell you this, right? I'm going to break it down to you so you understand, right? You go through a series of illusions, right? In the illusions, you see everything that held you attached to this earth, right? The reason why everybody is here on this plane right now, because we have some form of attachments. We attach to family, we attach to something. A lot of people here attached to love, mean they're not a love correctly, right? A lot of people think love is a feeling, but love is not a feeling, right? It's an action. You act on it, right? The biggest thing you can do for the universe when it comes to love is to love yourself. Because if I love myself, I'm going to project love outly, and then the world going to love me. But it got to start within, right? So what I'm trying to say is, though you have many bodies, you only have one soul. So you here on this plane right now, and a lot of times people don't remember. They don't know where
that fucked him up. We got to sit back and think about that one.
Understand about the past,
sit back and think about that one.
Life and they past trauma. But did you know that you can carry trauma not only from this lives, but from the lives before? So a lot of people here on this plane need to understand that.
That's also been proven scientifically.
And when you get a chance to remember that word of God, no matter where it's at, whether it's inside of you or you read it outward, it's going to send you within. And once within, you're going to find your way out.
So you telling me you keep rotating life and
that what happened?
Oh, you done went crazy. So how you know you was a female about 2,000 years. You might have been a woman 2,000 years ago. You
Yeah,
could have.
true.
That's maybe why you got something.
That's true. You could have been white, could have been black, could have been a woman.
Okay, well, so watch it.
Could've been
What about a
anything.
mosquito? What
Could have been, yeah, could have been a mosquito.
Okay, watch this.
Could have been.
Now, where he get this teaching from? I don't know where he got it from.
It's-
So
it's-
he said the purpose of
it's-
mankind, the purpose of being here, that our spirit and our energy continue to flow. That
No,
lie.
I didn't say that. I said
it
you have to be
comes
aware.
by- You got to be aware.
You got to be aware to
that-
out.
Okay, let me say what I got to say. Watch this here. So regardless of how he put it, you can believe anything. You know, it's crazy how the mind think. The mind can think anything.
That's true. Everything
Watch
running
this.
cycle.
That's free. God said, "You said curse and blessing for you. You choose who you gonna serve." Now watch this. But one thing I don't understand.
He's scared of
I
getting
don't want to take
reincarnated.
a risk, even if you reincarnated. I believe that man going to be responsible for every action they do.
You are. So if you make a mistake, you coming back.
So if you get God get you for the bad thing you do down here, so he make you come back.
There is no God.
Oh, so the word God, let me straighten him up about this word God. The word God is not necessarily mean that you can titleize the creator. There's no name for him. He said, I am that I am. But the word God is give us understanding where we can relate to who we talking to, somebody that's greater than us.
Man, you're
created.
talking to
So
energy.
the word
talking
of
to
God
yourself.
mean the word God, when we speak to one another, it means the one that's the creator.
Bob, there's no
Okay.
God. It's only energy and
Okay.
frequency.
Now you sound like
you believe in a creator then?
What? I never listen, I never said there's no creator, there's no God.
We call it a God to identify. So what part?
What's the name of the what's the proper
God
name,
is
Bishop?
greater than he.
No, listen, God is, and listen, words have powers and they call spells.
You can't bring God down.
You have to
God is greater than
understand
that.
he is we're talking about the creator of
Okay, call
everything.
him
We're talking
creator.
about
You ain't gotta call it
energy.
God.
Listen,
God ain't
everybody
no
is looking
energy.
for a name. Energy is everything, because energy is everything. God is
That's not
everything.
true.
God has to be
God
energy.
made energy.
You got to be energy because it's everything. Everything
No,
is God.
He's greater than that.
He is. It ain't nothing greater than energy. You can't figure it out. You don't know what it
You
is.
can't put God
It's
in your mouth.
everything.
You
can't
cannot-
put energy nowhere. You can't even see
Well, watch
it.
it. But God greater than that. You can't see air, but it's here.
I'm not here. That's the thing. We don't breathe air.
Okay, what you breathe?
Information.
Yeah, you play too much.
Okay, let's
I
go to the next one, y'all. Let's
pillow
go to the
over
next
you.
one. Y'all ready?
Can't breathe.
Because I'm gonna lose consciousness because my mind stopped getting the code.
I put a chokehold on you right now.
Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why.
You gonna need air.
What you think is not air. What's coming
What you
in
call it?
is information. X's and O's and X's and O's. If you block my physical body from the X's and O's, my physical body can't survive. My soul is still alive. But my physical body cannot survive without my soul telling it what to do. So if you cut off the information, my soul cannot tell my body what to do. So the body's gonna fall. That's the energy you talk about. That's constant. That's Jesus.
Okay, what's energy?
What you mean? Was it God?
What-
Whatever you call
You
God.
said it wasn't no God.
Whatever you call God.
Okay,
let's
watch
go to
this.
let's go to the next one, y'all. Let's go to the next
Yeah,
one.
let's go to the next.
Listen, Bishop. This
He sound like he on some cook.
Corinthians 5:8. We are confident, I say, and will prefer to be away from the body and at home with the Lord. That's on you, Bishop Eli.
Well, the last one just all right.
Yeah, you started the last one, huh?
No, I didn't. You keep on doing this shit on purpose.
You, man.
Did I say I gave it back to him?
Chunked it back to me. Let him take the.
Go on.
No, you gotta say it over for me and say it's on me.
Yeah.
Say it over and then say it's on me.
Say, man.
Say the question over.
Watch this here. Watch this here. We are confident, I say, and will prefer to be away from the body and at home with the Lord. Corinthians 5:8.
Sound like you had a friend.
Let me tell you something, right? A lot of people don't understand, right? You ever meditate, Bob?
Every day.
When you meditate, you're away from the body and you're home with the Lord, right? Because people don't understand that your body, you turn it off when you sleep, but to turn it off when you're aware does a lot better, right? Because your mind is running, but people don't know their mind is sending signals all day and receiving signals all day. And it's good to set it off and be at peace with the Lord, right? But a lot of people don't want peace with the Lord because a lot of people like chaos. They're like chaotic. Their nervous system is wrecked, right? And that's the reason, Bob. That's what that means.
You know, it's amazing how you can take scripture and make it say what you want to say.
That's what it
No,
means.
but you can get that out of there. But let me tell you what it means to me.
Don't lie
He's
to you.
saying that when you leave this life, this physical life, and be in the presence of the Lord, which is talking about the creator, the word of God, that energy that he's talking about, that source So Paul saying that when we leave this world, and let you know, I don't think every man gonna stay in this vehicle forever. That's why it get old. That's why it get pain. That's why it get cramps. That's why you get gray hair, because each day you're dying. You already dead, but you're dying physically every day. So I don't think the Creator designed us to be here forever, and I believe that there's something greater outside than what we see. Because you can't see air don't mean it's not here. Because you can't see energy don't mean it don't exist. So my point is, I see
don't
creation.
exist.
Well, my point is, I see creation. I see the moons. I see the stars. I know man and get up there and build.
You see a reflection. You don't see the stars. You don't see the moon.
Everything's a reflection.
You see
Everything
nothing but light.
is a
It's a light show.
Everything is something that somebody just made up. All these things
Bob,
you saying ain't
Bob,
illusion or something that's made up. Why we got to believe what you're talking about?
Bob, the scientists already prove it. The scientists prove we live in a light show.
So
everybody see, listen, gang, and Bible proves it too. What everybody see is light, right? So right now, what you see is light. This right here is light.
When you say light, what you
Slowed
mean?
down, it's moving so much that it turned to matter, right? And you can see it as matter, but it's nothing but moving light. So everything you see, everything you come in contact with is moving light. So I'm not the body, I'm that light, because everything is light. That's how you get healing that comes from light, because your body is nothing but light, frequency, energy, right? But everybody concerned about their physical body. But your physical body, you have many.
Got you. Okay.
All right, let's pause right here. Might have to be our last little pause too, because we running up on time. And
oh yeah, I see you.
Kind of late.
That's why I said we ain't about to be here the whole 2 hours. What we about to be an hour in. Tell you the truth.
Yeah.
We ain't even got that through. It was only an hour video, but we ain't got through. We was talking, getting there.
Right. So
why my camera ain't come back on though?
I don't know, Jeep. There you go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, asking questions that he can answer.
Oh no.
Nah, so I mean, basically they came back and had the conversation that we was having. Basically, their interpretation of God is, one is a literal one, the other one is more figurative and relying on pretty much outside and more information. I think the biggest takeaway from all of that was 607 Unk wasn't lying, bro. There wasn't nothing he said that was false, that you could say, no, that's not true, and you couldn't definitively disprove. When he talked about the heavens and the stars, and 607 Unk talking about it's a light show, nigga, it's a light. You seeing reflections. A lot of them stars is dead and gone. The only thing you see is the fact that it's traveled this far. And then when he's talking about light is moving so fast or so slow that is true. It's been proven. When he's talking about, you have traumas right. You talking about you got traumas that you have in your past life. They've proven in your DNA that trauma can travel through DNA. You hold the trauma of your ancestors. So there ain't nothing he said that was wrong. And to be honest, the way he was pointing it, presenting it, the package that it comes in is funny and goofy. But when you undo the package, man, that shit is
the reverse Charleston White. That's why everybody. It's the reverse Charleston White, where he just ain't pushing the whole neighborhood area. He talking about spirituality.
You
know what I mean? So like that's where I'll be like, hey, it's genius. You know what I'm saying? It's in a way that you can't not take it.
Right.
You can't not take what he giving, because it's almost like he doing it. Like
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what he working off of. Like, bro, I'm just out here. I'm doing, and I like it, because it's like, bro,
yeah,
I'm going to infect you in some way, shape, or form. You're gonna feel like, yeah.
And so that goes back to the point you,
because he got his ignorance.
That's what I was about to say. You made a point earlier as far as, you know, him playing to the ignorant people, and you know that's going to, you know, feed ignorance. But it's like what you said. It's like I'm going to infect. It's like Inception. You ever seen that movie Inception?
Mm-hmm.
So when they went in and they planted that seed in the dream, through the dream,
Wake
and
up,
it became the
wake up.
reality.
You take
That's all
something from it. You're gonna get. You about to take something.
Planting seeds, man. It's subconscious, and it's like even though
You see me, I swear to God on your mouth.
Exactly.
You feel me? Like you gonna take
If
something.
the idea is strong enough, it's gonna hold, and you're gonna get roots, and you're gonna get a plant eventually. You know, and it's gonna be up to you whether you want to nourish that thing or not. But I listen. We can go on and on
I
about.
already know that was going. I knew this was going to be a hitter right here.
So
I knew this one was going to be a hitter.
I think for the in-person platform, we gotta, you know, pick segments where we can maybe watch 3 to 5 minutes of it, and then expound on that. Because most of the time,
so I didn't even know.
It's cool.
The last one they was going in because it was more or less like you know what I'm saying. That's why it was Bible. This was called Bible Wars 2. Like they had a first edition where they was just talking about, you know what I'm saying, he was like a good man and a bad man, or if God is real, or you know what I'm saying, what's going on. And he just was going through first, you know, he was going all, you know, offlandish and like, nah, gang, you know what I'm saying, like that ain't what it is. He lying to y'all, gang. And he came back and doubled back. He said, oh, you know what? I take it all back. I take it. God is real. Jesus is real. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, bro, you messing with it. You messing with their brain, because how you put it and how you fix it in there is just exactly like you said just then. Hey, yeah, on a plane scale, yeah, that's what I was trying to kind of say to you earlier, is that's my thought process of it is these are people at that time, bro. Like Jesus is a great man. I mean, let's be honest. The stories they tell about him is great. I've heard nothing less. You feel me? Let me not, you know what I'm saying, be ashamed of that point, that point of it. But at the same time, I can't, if I never stood side by side this man, I can't tell you what he said do and don't do. And then on top of that, I can't sit up here and be like, hey, yeah, you know, I rock with Jesus. So
that's like niggas talking. That's like niggas coming to you and talking about, yeah, Malcolm X said, yeah,
bro, because
and we don't got no videos of nothing. You know, we just going off of
and
what
it's
this
not
nigga
to
said.
spread. It's not to spread a chaotic mind, or you know what I'm saying, like some type of you know, non-belief type of deal. It's not like that, because my whole fixation is I do believe and I do know that it was a man named Jesus, bro. They definitely, you know what I'm saying, put in work. He definitely got around. But also too, that was his story. You gotta let him live his story, bro. And I'm grateful for it. You feel me? If that's the case. And if there is a Jesus, I gotta, you know, at least try to live up to that little bit of respect. But in the same form or fashion, I cannot be him. I'm not here to save everybody. You know what I'm saying? Even when he came, he didn't save everybody. Certain people creeped in the door, basically, like other people was.
We're gonna be
You feel me? Like
we're gonna be literal.
Yeah, hey, I'm not because bro, I'm
anybody.
I'm not trying to
he might have
make
saved
it seem like, because it's really more or less the understanding and knowledge of there is like pieces within, bro. Like, you know what I mean? And that's really where it come from, even if you really believe in God or you really believe in Jesus, you know what I'm saying? Peace is within. It's not something you're gonna really find through him, because at the same time you gotta live your life. You gotta die on your own cross.
Right.
You feel me? You gotta die at your own flesh, bro. And it's the truth in life. You know what I'm saying? These lessons that are in there and everything that we go through, like by forming, you know what I'm saying, what's, you know, what we call our childhood or structured childhood through church and religion and all that, bro. It's a cool way to see it and definitely understand. But you know, currently in my home, you know what I'm saying, I'm not Bible beating my kids. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, you know what I'm saying? You better take your, but the relationship and bond with God and understanding that, you know what I'm saying? Hey, look, every day ain't promised. You want to be able to, you know what I'm saying? At least if there is a higher, you know what I'm saying, ambience besides what we getting up to every day.
Yeah.
And that's great. Hey, go ahead, do it. Be all the way alive, but in the same sense, it's what it is to you. It's not what it is to nobody else, bro. Because God ain't Jesus, and bro. I'm sorry, Jesus wasn't rocking on a religion. He was rocking on some. If it's really gonna be real, a way of life. Yeah, you feel a way of life. So, like that's where I'll be coming from. Where it's like people be really going in and, you know what I'm saying, trying to take from, or, you know what I'm saying, make it a different thing. Cool, you want to call me Joshua, you want to call me all. I'm not going to play with it. You know what I'm saying? You don't want people playing. You don't want people playing with your name. So why you think God wants you playing with his in any form, shape, in any way, shape, or form? So that's where I'll be coming from nowadays, because everybody then took this freedom of speech. Ain't no censorship. You feel me? I do what I want to. Ain't no guides on shit. So that's where you lose sight of what God is really supposed to be. Because really, in hindsight, if you look at God ain't this, bro. I don't feel like God is just this. Hey, let me shine some light on that, and let's tell you. Yeah, it's some desperate moments and some things that you go through, and God ain't just a blessing God. He ain't just giving. No, you gotta go.
He's actually a wrathful God. He's actually the devil didn't kill one person in the Bible. God killed everybody twice.
Hey, listen. I didn't already said it. Like, the way I see it, I do like the and I think it's because it's a culture aspect. When I was growing up, you feel me? Like, I'm a black man, you know what I'm saying? In a society that people ain't, you know what I'm saying, really checking for, because we in the hood, or I come from whatever background, and you know, a lot of us wasn't supposed to make it to this point, and just was supposed to be numbers and you know what I'm saying, grants. You feel me? So when you turn around and look at it, and you like, man, so the way I was molded was kind of fugazi, because y'all just kind of roll with anything. But in the same tent, like, y'all showed structure, y'all showed, but that was the brainwash, if you think about it. You feel me?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's different now. Like, and it's a lot of turning the faucet on and nobody's really turning it off to think about shit. Like, and that's where I'll be coming from, where you gotta think about, like, when people coming over here talking about God and the spirituality and everything, you gotta really discern. Like I said, that's why I asked you earlier. You got discern. You gotta have discernment, bro, because it's not really what's being said. It's just whatever you taking out of it and what's for you. And then once you start to click it, it's just like, bro, please, no, that shit ain't clicking. Like that, the T ain't clocked. Like,
yeah, no, not the
you feel me? I can't get off of that. I don't know. Something with that don't sit right. Like,
yeah,
because you can't fool me. You can't fill me up with some BS. But like in the same sense, I feel like a lot of it's used for control these days. Where like,
Yeah, no, that when you bring up discernment and everything, that is the information I'm using to make the decisions that I'm coming up with. The fact
but
that
I do know there's plenty men of God though.
huh?
There's plenty men of God.
100%. 100%. There's men that, they move in a very quote unquote godly manner and it exudes them and all these things. But damn, I lost my train of thought.
This nigga was trying to
I'm
sound too
tired.
intelligent. He was trying to sound too intelligent.
Nah, I was
It exudes them to damn.
no, because I was about to make a point, and then you said there's godly men, and that took me off the point that I was about to make.
Oh, I was just trying to get that last little bit out there because it is. I don't want people. We are alive, man. You know what I'm saying. I don't want people to think that this man is teetering. You can say whatever you do, but at the same time,
you can think whatever you want.
It's some godly men out here, and then there's some all the way straight demon spirits. Like let me tell you,
even some of them godly men. Listen, they've been using the church. They're using them church funds.
They want to act up. They will be screaming, "Holy, holy, holy."
That's funny. I'm a end it on my side with this. When it comes to God and devil and good and evil and everything, like I said earlier, man, I think it's all about thought processes and mindsets, and where like 607 said, the vibration you vibrate on, the frequency you vibrate on. I don't think there is a God and a devil and people controlling on your thoughts become the world you create. And if you sitting up here thinking some wild, weird shit and you allow those thoughts to overcome, bro, that's gonna be the world you live in. But if you can, elevate your thoughts to, a love frequency, you're gonna exude that. You're gonna pass that on to other people. You're gonna, your aura is gonna be rainbow. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be out here. You're gonna be, but the point is you are gonna be the light. They call Jesus the light. That's what that I think that's where that comes to.
Yeah, he was trying to fix it that like you are everything they say he is, like
exactly. And no, but for real, you are like there's
I mean, in that aspect, many gods, like I do feel like, but we not God, like we not like man,
you are, bro. You are. You're a creator. You like he said, like 607 said, you are a co-pilot. You are a co-creator. You are a co-executive. Everything that he can do, you can do. Everything, all of these things.
It's a code. I'm not doing it by myself though.
But you are. But you are. If anything, the contribution that was given to you is the molecules and the atoms that he created to make the stars that created you. Everything that was that you needed, you were given at the beginning of your life. Now, if you access that and tap into it, that's on you. And that's where you are the co person.
You got
like we already talked about. Life, bro. This is like we already talked about, though, man. There are other things. Like now, the point of co is you got, and usually when you the co, that means you're handling things that the main has no time or needs to deal with outside of whatever they are dealing with. You feel what I'm saying? So why would, as the co, You need the main to come and step in and help you out and do shit for you. No, that's going to take away from the shit they got to do. And shit. Nah, man, they gave you the idea, they gave you the bank, they gave you the game plan, they gave you the blueprint. You could call it the Bible, you could call it DNA. You were given the assignment. Now, how
take that money, get that money.
Why didn't you carry it out is based on you, and you can't keep sitting up here asking for, oh my God, please give me some help. You know, thank God he did. Man, he didn't do nothing. You did it. And like he said, the more you give yourself love and attribute yourself energy, you're going to make the world and the universe a better place, because you're a better person and the next person's a better person for being a better person to them, and it's going to be a domino effect.
I do feel you where is God ain't got Eric. God ain't doing, he ain't got everything to do with everything you do.
He got nothing to do with everything you're doing.
You feel me? Like he ain't got.
He is the creator of the game, of the simulation that you playing. Nah, watching it play out.
I feel like nothing going on. Are in sync. I feel like some things are in sync, and that's why I see. That's when I say that's a God moment. You feel me? Like some things are in sync. That's a God moment. Like that's, to me, that's when something impossible happened and it happens in front of me. That's a God moment. Like so, well, like those are for me, like, as other people be like, oh yeah, well, you know what I'm saying? It was just a freakish moment. Like, man, it happened that way. And then, you know, you ignoring the sign, like, damn, bro, you just damn near missed. You know what I'm saying? You gotta go ahead and step up today. Like, you know, that's kind of what God kind of like, he that God for me. Like that's how I look at it. Like he on the I ain't gotta, you know, I ain't gotta hear from dude. I just, hey, bro, hold on, let me lean real quick, because I know, goddamn, boy, I know they trying to be like this. I know they trying to, boy. Hey, holla at me, man. Hey, I know. Hey, look, send me a sign. I'm DMX out this month. Hey, listen, you know what I'm saying?
But hey, check it out. I gotta tap off and sign out, man. Go ahead and hit the hay. But this was a cool little test run and everything.
Oh, you already know. Shoot, we did an hour. We did about an hour and 12 minutes, man. We solid, man. We solid. But next time, like you said,
more uniform
content. There's more content to it too. We definitely need more content. But you know, this is y'all. We thank y'all for tapping in. Whoever did tap in. And I do appreciate, you know what I'm saying, nephew spending the time tonight to co-pilot this situation, you know what I'm saying, and this organization, because we definitely co-piloted this motherfucker to the top, you feel me? So keep on tapping in, keep on, you know what I'm saying, liking, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell so you know we come back, you know what I'm saying, and we're going to holler at you. Holla. Hey, that was a nice one. That was nice. That was good.
We can do that.
That was real good. That was real good. I like the energy. I like the little, you know what I'm saying, your digs. Oh, we still y'all
Go ahead and just sign off.